Hello, everybody. This is Zach said it again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and it is an honor to be speaking to one of the Disney on Ice skaters, one of the actual skaters from Disney on Ice. She's going to be performing at the Berglund Center Coliseum in Roanoke this weekend. My family and I will be going on February 25th to see this wonderful, wonderful show. It is such an honor to have Kamille Caron on the phone with me today. Thank you, Kamille, for being here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It is truly an honor to speak with someone of your caliber. Now, I have been given a little bit of background information on you. It says that you started skating when you were 2 years old. You come from a small town in Quebec, Canada, and you started skating when you were 2 years old. Your father was a professional hockey player, and you wanted to get on the ice from a very young age. So can you tell me, it's a big leap from a 2-year-old who wants to skate to becoming a Disney on Ice skater. So can you give me just an overcap of how you got to where you are and ended up with the Disney company?
Yes, so basically, yes, I started super young, at a super young age, but I think I loved skating so much. I always wanted to be better, even as a baby. I was falling a lot, and I wanted to be good right away. So I was really, really determined to achieve my goals. So I just got this thing, and then I started skating more and more and more, and I never stopped. So I competed at a competitive level for almost all my life. And then once I was done with my college and also my competitions, I still wasn't ready to stop my figure skating career. So I was searching for other options than competitions, and I ended up having Disney on Ice as one of my options. I love that they were traveling around the world. That was one of my biggest dreams, to travel while doing what I love. So Disney on Ice was offering me to perform, do my figure skating, but also discover part of the world. So yeah, that's how I did some researches, but also I skated with some skaters that were already with the company at that time. So they actually taught me a lot about the company and how it worked, and that was something that I was really, really interested in doing. And like most of the children, I also watched a show when I was 10 or 11 years old, and I absolutely loved the show. So yeah, since then, I always wanted to perform with Disney on Ice.
Yes, indeed. And I was going to ask you if you were a Disney fan growing up, and if you are.
Yes, effectively. Like most of the girls or the little boys, like I always dreamed of being a princess. I watched every single movie that they were releasing more than once. So that was something that I thought was unreal to skate with such iconic characters. So it's still sometimes like a dream when I'm performing in front of all those kids around the world, to be performing next to Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and all the princesses like Ariel, Moana, Rapunzel. We also have the new story, pardon me, but Encanto. So yeah, that's still sometimes a dream that comes true for me.
Absolutely, because it doesn't matter if you're 4 or 40, and it doesn't matter if you know that that's somebody in a Mickey costume. When Mickey comes out on that ice, it's the real Mickey, just the same as when you go to Disney World and you see Mickey Mouse for the first time, it's the real Mickey. And those ice shows really bring the Disney magic to the ice.
Exactly.
So do you feel that magic when you're on the ice? Do you feel like you're in that fairy tale with Mickey and those princesses?
Yes, definitely. And seeing how the audience is receiving us as well, bring that magic to a higher level, to see that children, teenagers, families, parents, like no matter how old you are, everyone enjoys the show and they also find their kid heart again, if I can say.
Absolutely.
So we don't feel, yes, so we perform for everyone and also everyone is just so happy. Like it's such a nice time on the ice, but also with the audience. Like we're all here to have a good time and listen to our favorite Disney songs, but also watching our favorite Disney stories.
Now, do you play a character or are you...
So my role for the show this year is to be part of the ensemble. So I have the opportunity to skate in different stories through the show. So I will be in different group numbers with Rapunzel, for example, for the Tango segment, or I will also be in Frozen with there will come a number in summer with Olaf as well. Encanto, as I said earlier, is our brand new story in the show. So I'm part of some of the numbers for that story as well. That's my particularly favorite because all the costumes are new, the songs are newer as well, and there's a lot of like special effects and yeah, I just love the story in general.
Did you say the Encanto is your favorite? Is that what you said?
Yes, that's my personal favorite.
It's
such a colorful part of the show. The costumes are incredible. We have also some acrobatic stuff going on. I don't want to reveal too much, but we have some aerial things happening at the same time. So there's a lot going on in that segment, which I love. There's a lot of action.
I was fortunate.
So we cannot be bored.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was fortunate enough to see the Magic and the Stars show in Greensboro around December. So that was a real joy to see. What are some of the special aspects of the Find Your Hero? If you haven't already told them, what are some of the special things in the Find Your Hero story?
So we also we have some we call this pyros, but it's like basically fireworks on the ice in some specific moments in the show. So there's that. There's also two different aerial things that we can find. One called the web, which is like a big rope that Ariel will do some acrobatic skills on that. And then we have another thing called the anti-gravity, which allows us to see someone doing flips in the air because of the gravity, actually. We have like another way that allowed the person to stay up in the air. So, and like long enough to do like flips, cartwheels, front flips. So that's really impressive too. And we also have we can see Isabella coming through the ceiling.
Oh, that's amazing.
So there's plenty of things to entertain for a good show of an hour and a half, an hour 25.
Absolutely. I remember I'm wheelchair bound. I can't even stand independently. So when I see someone move that freely and that with that level of complexity and skill, that is just amazing to me. Now let me ask you, since we're on that vein of conversation, did you ever compete at an Olympic level for your skating?
No, I never did. I always wanted to skate for my own pleasure at first. Maybe dreamed for a little while to do the Olympics, but when I saw that we could do shows instead, Disney on Ice was actually a bigger dream than doing the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Something that was also more accessible for me, as well. So the Olympics is also really hard too. It's a lot of work. It's also not necessarily something that is accessible every year. It's like it's like a kind of a hit or miss. You have like 2 years to like qualify yourself, and no, that was just not my like as big as the goals than Disney on Ice or other shows. I prefer the adrenaline and performing in shows than in competitions.
I understand that completely. Do you have the opportunity to interact with the fans very much? I know that you're on the ice, and when you'll be in Roanoke, Virginia, which is about an hour and 10 minutes from where I live. I live in a very small town in the mountains of Virginia.
Yes, exactly. So we interact on the ice as much as we can. We wave to them. Sometimes we send like kisses and stuff. But we don't really talk while we're in the character.
Right.
However, sometimes we have some activities with kids, like skating parties, where we can give an hour of. We have like an hour to skate with some kids from different backgrounds. So it happened in the past that we had the opportunity to skate with those kids, but usually we're not really interacting more than we do on the ice.
Right. Okay. So when you have these skating parties and things like that, will you be doing any of those special things like that in Roanoke, or do you know when you hit Roanoke this weekend?
I don't know. I don't think we have anything scheduled. It's really rare. Actually, it happened. I think it happened only twice this season. That's definitely something that I think all of us like to do, because we bring our passion to those kids and we help them learn how to skate. But the opportunity, I don't think it's possible this week. We don't offer it, actually.
Do you have an opportunity being in town for 4 days doing 4 shows? Do you have any opportunity much to explore the cities that you're in, like Roanoke? Because as I said, this is a very small. I live in a very small town of about 8,000 people, but Roanoke's a lot bigger, but it's like the closest big city that we have. Do you have any opportunity to explore any of the cities that you're in, or are you constantly in an arena where everything looks pretty much the same?
Yes, luckily for us, we have some free time. We usually have around 2 or 3 days off, depending on the schedule. This week we only had 1, but it's because we have been pretty busy recently, which is totally fine too. But I was happy because I have been able to do a little hike on one of your incredible mountains. I love nature, so I was happy to see those beautiful views around Roanoke. So I did this week.
That's right. You're in Roanoke right now because your first performance is tonight. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad you had an opportunity to experience our Blue Ridge Mountains. We're very proud of them here.
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you. Roanoke is certainly a long way from Quebec. How do you feel when you come to these cities? Do you feel welcome? Do you feel at home, or do you get homesick a lot?
I don't feel that homesick at all. I think it's a big part of because of my beautiful team that feels like family to me. We're really big cats, so we're always like hanging out with each other, always there to support each other. So they make me feel like home. Also, like the U.S. is not that different from my Canadian culture, so I don't feel that homesick. Also, the time difference is the same. It's still the same. Sorry, the time difference is still the same. So I can still talk to my family, my friends also easily. Yeah, so far it hasn't been that hard. But when you do what you love to do, also I think it feels easier too. We change environment every week, so it's always new and entertaining for us as well to discover the new city we're in and to do new activities.
and to get to do what you love and to get to travel the country, that must be really very special. And nobody does travel and experience and entertainment, even for the people that work for them, like Disney does. Am I correct?
Yes, no, exactly. That's a huge chance that I had, and I'm really, really grateful and thankful every day for it. So that makes it easier as well.
Absolutely. So, as somebody who sits in a wheelchair, I would not know. I hear terms like triple axle or things like that, and I have no clue what they mean really. But what particular, when I'm in that box on Sunday, trying to look for the lady that I interviewed, what kind of special things can I look for from you? What kind of special moves will you be doing?
So, in the show, I have a jump.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I'm a lefty, so in figure skating, you can jump on the right side or on the left side. Mm-hmm. So that means that your rotation will be on the left or on the right. And for me, I'm on the left, which is not really common. So I would say it might be hard to find, but at some point at the very beginning of the second act, we'll do a little act 2 trick section that we call, and I'll be jumping on the other side of the boys, basically. So that could be a good sign that it's me. Other than that, that's pretty complicated because we're such a big cast. There's so many skaters around and so many things happening that might be difficult to put a finger on me. But I think that part would be the easiest for you.
Excellent. Well, I will certainly be looking for that, and thank you for sharing that with me. You shared your favorite part of the show, which you said is Encanto. What Disney princess did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was little, it was Belle at first, just because physically I look a lot like her. I have brown hair, brown eyes, and also I love reading. I still love, and Belle loves books.
Right.
So I think that's the main reason why. But also now that Moana has been released, I really relate to her strength and her independence. So I also really, really love Moana. For those reasons as well. And
now you get to perform with them, so that's fantastic.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah.
We have Belle, we have Moana, and I also love Mirabelle, who's also an amazing character with amazing family values. I love that she's clumsy and also she's funny. So that's something that I love to do as well, skating by her side.
Yes, and let me tell you, I gotta ask you the really hard question now, because for 40 years, Mickey Mouse has been my number one hero, and I'm 12 hours from Florida. So when I was 4 years old, I said I'll never make it to Disney World, which fortunately I did. And I actually ended up taking my daughter when she was 5 years old, which was a dream come true. And I wrote a book about that, which was amazing. But at 4 years old, I never dreamed I would get to Florida Disney World to meet Mickey, who was my all-time hero. So I had a very wonderful friend who's now passed away, who got me and my mom and dad front row seats at the Salem Civic Center, which is right next to Roanoke. And I sat on the ice to see the show, and Mickey Mouse skated by me and waved at me. So I bragged for years that Mickey knew me personally because he waved at me. So I have to ask you the really tough question. Mickey is your boss. He's the head guy, and is he as nice as he seems to be?
The main character.
Yep. Is Mickey as great as he seems to be off the ice as he is on?
Yes, he's always as great. He will always be. He loves children. He loves everyone that comes to the show. So it doesn't have to be children. I named the children because they're a huge part of the audience, but also everyone that comes. We are always happy to receive them. Mickey especially Mickey.
Yeah.
He will be by the side of Minnie Mouse as well, but he's still in the show, and he will be there quite often.
Yeah, you can't have a Disney show without Mickey. I'm always hoping that
Exactly.
I'm always hoping that Mickey's going to get his feature film one day. I hope they do it one day. He needs his own.
Yeah, that would be great.
He needs his own movie. I guess you're not on the inside of any of that. I guess you can't give us any insight on whether there's going to be a...
No, unfortunately not.
yeah, but a Mickey movie would be great. Well, it's been really an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything that I haven't...
The pleasure is all mine.
Is there anything that I have not covered that you would like to speak about for the show?
Yes, so I don't know if my description was clear enough, but basically our show is around 1 hour 45, and we have 6 different stories that we will cover through that time. So we'll go from like all the iconic stories. So we have, as I said, Moana, Rapunzel, Ariel. We have also Encanto, who's the brand new segment. We have Frozen, if I did not mention yet, and Belle. So we have that with special effects like I mentioned, and if people want to grab their tickets before it's too late, we can find them online. If you write, DisneyOnIce.com, you will be able to find the tickets super easily.
Yes, ma'am, and thanks to the wonderful Simona Noyes who set this interview up for me. My family and I have tickets, and that's very generous. We're so excited to see the show again, and I know that
I'm excited for you to come as well.
I know that it's going to be terrific. My 9-year-old daughter, who was born to be a Disney princess, will be there. I don't know if she's going to wear her Elsa dress or her Minnie Mouse dress, but we'll try to get her in some kind of Disney costume so that she can have the full magic of the show.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
That's something that we always notice and that we love to see when kids are dressed as their favorite Disney characters. We always find them.
Yes. Well, you have been absolutely wonderful and patient and kind, and it has been an honor to talk to you. I promise to do you a wonderful...
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
A wonderful story. It's an honor for you to be on the podcast, and good luck to you and your fellow skaters. Thank you for coming to Roanoke to entertain us in Southwest Virginia.
And thank you very much, and enjoy your show this Sunday.
Thank you. It's been so nice talking to you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. This is Zach Said It Again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and it is an honor to be speaking to one of the Disney on Ice